Okay, we're going to practice reading a word problem using our strategies called Rubies. So the first part of Rubies is you read your problem. Leia saved a kitten. On the day she saved him, he weighed 13 and 8/10 ounces. 4 days later, he weighed 15 and 5/10 ounces. How much did he grow in 4 days? The second part of our strategy is go ahead and underline your question. So there, that separates my question from my first part of my problem. Then we need to box the important information. Part of boxing your information is going to be taking notes and pulling it out of the problem. So we have here on that day, that's important, he weighed 13 and 8/10 ounces. The label is important because we don't know if he's going to change into pounds. Now, 4 days later is important. So, but I'm not ready for this. I need to take notes on this first sentence because now I feel overwhelmed that I'm getting more information. So I'm going to take notes and say D for day 1 equals 13 and 8/10, and I'm going to abbreviate ounces and write OZ. 4 days later. So now I can say, okay, on day 4. 4 days later, he weighed 15 and 5/10 ounces. So day 4, he weighs 15 and 5/10 ounces. How much did he grow in 4 days? Well, I want to know how much he grew from how many ounces did he change by? How much did he grow by? So that tells me that I'm going to need to take the weight he ended up at, which was 15 and 5/10, and I have to subtract the weight he started at because I'm looking for the change in this problem. So I go ahead and set up my problem. Now what we're going to do is we have to subtract. When we subtract, we start at our smallest place. But notice I have a pretty problem already established. So I don't have to put in any place markers for zeros to line up my places. When I wrote my problem, I lined up my decimal points. It's very important that you do that. So now what I see is that I need to regroup so that I can take 8/10 away. So I come next door, cross out the 5, and put a 4. Now I took one of these broken into 10 pieces. So I'm going to put a 1 in from the 5 to show 15. 15 minus 8 is 7. I bring down my decimal point. 4 minus 3 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. I don't need to write the 0. And this is ounces. So my answer, I'm going to circle my answer. It is 1 and 7/10 ounces. So now what I need to do is I need to look and see and compare it to each answer choice. 2 and 3/10 ounces, that does not match. So I want to cross out the incorrect answer. 1 and 3/10 ounces does not match. So I cross out the answer. 1 and 7/10 ounces does match. I can circle it or put a question mark because that might be my answer. 2 and 7/10 ounces does not match, so I'm going to cross out the wrong answer. So I've now crossed out the incorrect answers. That is the I in Rubies. E says explain. So I want to show you how mathematically I can explain here. When I looked at the first answer choice, my real answer is 1, not 2. So by crossing out the 2, I show that's why it's wrong. Look at my second problem. The 1 matched, but 3/10 is wrong at 7/10. Now, the reason this is a distractor answer is because somebody would have subtracted upside down here instead of regrouping. Then I look at the next one. The 1 matches, the 7 matches. So that explains why that's correct. And D is wrong because the whole number is 1 ounce, not 2 ounces. That would be if they forgot to cross out the 5 and put a 4 when they regrouped, then they would have gotten 2 instead of 1. So those are common misconceptions in the answers. So now I have explained my right and wrong answers. S select, if I have not circled C yet, I need to make sure I circle C as choosing the correct answer choice. And that is how we use Rubies to solve our math problems.